viewers, welcome to Raz's doesn't have the money to pay for editing software draft breakdown. As you can see on your screen, we're doing a draft breakdown for the ADL's All-Star season. I'm Raz, I'm the coach of your White Rock Wings, and I was invited to this event specifically. Very cool. I'm really psyched to be here. I don't have a chip in ADL, but I have gotten very close. A couple of times I've had some pretty good runs, so here we are. The live draft happened about a month ago at this point. No, I guess it's only been a couple of weeks actually. Okay, I made it up. But live draft happened recently, and during the live draft, I was 6th, dead center. So the question is, what were my thoughts going into the draft? What was I thinking? What's my headspace like? First of all, I want to get support quick. There are a lot of strong Pokemon and a lot of team archetypes that you can have, but a lot of specific support options are very, very limited in this format. There are 2 Follow Me users. I want to say there are like 3 or 4 Rage Powder users, and one of them is Ariados. Priority Tailwind, Whimsicott, and Talonflame, that's it. There are a couple decent setters that don't have priority, but not very many of those either. So those were things that I knew I wanted to get, and get early. Next, flexibility. I often have drafts that only function one way, and then I get called out in prep, and because my opponent knows how I'm going to play and how I'm going to lead, because my options are very limited, and I didn't want that to happen in a season like this where I'm really trying to win. I have been shifting my focus on the game to having fun and like trying my best, but focusing on having a good time because it's a hobby. This one I still do want to make sure I'm having a good time, but it's all stars and it feels more competitive by nature, and so I am trying to win. And so I want to make sure that I have a lot of options. I have a lot of things, ways to cover various this, that, or the other that I encounter throughout the season, and I don't lead Mousehold Annihilate the entire time, and it just comes down to, can my opponent beat Mousehold Annihilate, right? The third thing, no pairs. Plays a little bit into the flexibility thing. As the 6th pick in the draft, dead center, I don't want to be going for or relying on pairs. So something like Annihilate I don't want to take, because in order for it to be worth its point value, you have to have Mousehold, and because my pick is so bad, I can't guarantee that that's going to happen. So again, I want Pokemon that can work on a variety of different compositions, so that I'm not going to bust my whole draft if I get sniped one time, right? And finally, the last thing I wanted was pivot power. I've been playing a lot of Perish Trap in regular VGC lately. I think it's really fun in this format, and playing with bulky teams that are able to pivot defensively and protect their damage dealers and whatnot has felt really good. I've really, really enjoyed it, and so that was something that I definitely wanted. I was wondering if I could get a double Intimidate core, so Incineroar was a Pokemon I was looking at, but other than that, I was flying blind going into this. I didn't put together a plan because, sort of by design, I wanted to be picking whatever was best in that moment. It's not something that I do very frequently, and for a live draft, maybe it wasn't the best idea in the world, but that's what I wanted to do, and so that's what I did. So, with all of that being said, what does the initial draft look like? Well, first pick, I take Clefable. Like I mentioned before, there are 2 Follow Me users in the game, and there are plenty of viable grass types, and so I don't really want Rage Powder. So, I know that Clefable has the ability to support basically anything, so I can take a Mega that's good later, but there are a lot of good Megas, and there are 2 Follow Me users, so I made sure I grabbed that early, and so Clefable is my first pick. I stand by that. I think that it's good. The second pick got back to me a bit faster than I anticipated. it's only my second ever live draft, and the first one was in VBA like 5 years ago, maybe more. So I wasn't ready. It comes back to me, I go, shoot, what do I want, right? And I haven't figured out what exactly I want next, but I do know something that I want in this draft, which is Mega Chestnut. I'm a fan of Mega Chestnut. I think it has a lot of potential in draft. Obviously, its defensive typing is very bad, but I think that it could get a lot of value without Mega Evolving, and it loses 20 points of speed under Trick Room. Well, it loses 20 points of speed no matter what, and so it's viable under Trick Room if you are going into a matchup where your opponent has a Trick Room mode. But if it doesn't have to Mega Evolve, Wide Guard is good, Bulk Up, Iron Defense, Body Press, Leech Seed, etc., etc. I think it's really cool. I think it's very flexible. I like it a lot. For my third pick, like I said, Tailwind is also very limited, and I wanted to make sure I had that. And so with my third pick, I took Noivern. I wanted a better speed tier. I wanted Tailwind. Noivern does that for me. Super Fang is good. Draco Meteor, Hurricane. It's a pretty straightforward Pokemon, but the tools that it has are things that I really wanted. Right after that, I flipped to the other side. I just got Tailwind. I want to make sure that I have a Trick Room setter as well. I like having like a 2-3 Pokemon Trick Room mode so that it's small, and if my opponent has the speed advantage on me fast, then I do have the option to flip it. And so with my fourth pick, I take Cofagrigus. In retrospect, I don't like this pick very much. I like Cofagrigus. Design-wise, is one of my favorite Pokemon. I like using it. I think it's a good Trick Room setter and support mon. Wisp is nice, Haze is nice, Stab Shadow Ball obviously is strong, famously. But generally, I like to pair Chestnut with Ghost types that blow stuff up. Fighting and Ghost is famously a very good offensive pairing. They have really good synergy. Think Zamazenta, Calyrex Shadow from Dual Restricted back in Scarlet and Violet. And so, because it's bulky, it has Wide Guard, I like pairing it with things like Mega Gengar or Mega Frostlass. And even though Chestnut and Cofagrigus both operate in a Trick Room setting, Cofagrigus just doesn't have very good damage output. Its base special attack, I want to say, is 95-ish. So it's nothing to sneeze at, but it's not great, right? So in this context, I don't love it. I'm not the most upset about it because I like Cofagrigus. Like I said, I think it's good. But here specifically, I wish that I had gone with something else. But the past is in the past. And speaking of Pokemon that I like, with my fifth pick, I take my golden child, Morpeko. Shout out Morpeko. I love Morpeko. Morpeko, you're my favorite. I love you so much. It finishes out my... Oh, just kidding. The next pick is going to finish out my Fighting Psychic Dark Core LMAO. I got ahead of myself. It gives me Fake Out. It gives me, like, Nuzzle, Electroweb, Snarl, Parting Shot. I like Morpeko. I'm not going to rehash any of this. To finish off my Fighting Psychic Dark Core, I decide that I want something fast and I want something strong. If we look at my team right now, I do have options for dealing some damage, but it's not very good, right? Noivern is more supportive, Clefable is more supportive, Cofagrigus is more supportive, Morpeko is more supportive. Chestnut is like a bulky offense Pokemon, but it doesn't have like that punch that you really want from your Mega Evolution. So, for my second and final Mega, I take Mega Meowstic. Like I said, I was looking for flexibility, so Mega Meowstic is a Pokemon that can be a Prankster support mon before Mega Evolving as Meowstic Male. It gets Screens, it gets Rain Dance, it gets Fake Out, it gets Thunder Wave. It has a very deep supportive move pool with help from Prankster. Additionally, it also deters Intimidate because I can run Meowstic Female and then get the competitive boost and then Mega Evolve, be very fast, very strong. And that's a sort of flexibility that I really like and really appreciate. And so I think it has a lot of potential in draft, and so I took it because I thought it was interesting. With that being said, with my next pick, I take Hisui and Arcanine. I said earlier I wanted a good pivot core. I wanted to see if I could get Dual Intimidate. Incineroar went very early. And so I took Hisui and Arcanine instead. It's also helpful because its speed tier is solid-ish, and it's strong, and so not so much defensive, but it helps me start to get some offense on my team, which up to this point, this team has kind of been lacking. And with that being said, I did want to finish out a Dual Intimidate core, and so my other core is Gyarados. Gyarados switches in to Arcanine slot very, very well. It's immune to ground, it resists fighting, it resists... I almost said it resists grass. It's neutral to grass. LMAO. It resists water, is what I meant to say. Doesn't work quite so well in reverse. Arcanine is still weak to rock. It doesn't resist electric. But Gyarados switches in very well for Arcanine, and that's something that I value. They're also both very flexible Pokemon. Gyarados can run offensive Dragon Dance set. It can run a supportive, like, Thunderwave Taunt set. It has very good natural bulk and very good natural attack, so it can sort of flex into a couple of different slots. Arcanine very much the same. Obviously can be very offensive. It has access to Rockhead Head Smash, very strong. Rock Slide is really good in this format. Flare Blitz is very strong, but also it can run Snarl, it can run Morning Sun, it can run Will-O-Wisp, etc., etc. And so that was something that it's a pairing that I really liked together, and so I was very excited to use those. Next pick, I take Excadrill. Good ground types in this format are so hard to find, and I want something that can click Earthquake next to Noivern. That's literally it. Am I taking a Sand mode? No. I just want a ground type to click Earthquake next to my flying type Tailwind Setter. That's it. And then with my final pick, obviously, I take Archaludon. Archaludon seems very strange here, and if you were thinking, why on earth did he take Archaludon, I can't blame you for that. And let me break it down briefly. There's a team in VGC that's been running around, invented by Cybertron Aaron Zhang, and it has Sableye and Archaludon. Sableye sets screens to help keep Archaludon alive. It sets Rain to let Archaludon click Electro Shot, and that's basically the core of it, right? Now, Meowstic Male functions in a very similar way. It gets Rain Dance, it gets Screens, it gets Fake Out to buy Archaludon an extra turn if necessary, and it also gets Tail Slaps, so it can target its own your own partner, Archaludon, to activate Stamina and make it even more difficult to remove. That was my thought process going into it. So, that's the whole squad. With that being said, what are my immediate thoughts? First thought, looking over this team, oh no. In the moment, I broke down the reasons why I picked things, but looking back at it, it looked very bad. First of all, I have no Mega. I was very focused on flexibility, and so I took 2 Megas that didn't have to Mega Evolve in order to be useful, and in doing so, I took 2 Megas that are bad, which is bad. So, immediately right off the bat, my 2 slots that should be my strongest Pokemon, neither of them are good. This is problematic. Next issue, my speed tiers are actually pretty bad. You might think that they're good, which is why I said deceptively bad, because Noivern is like 123, I think. Meowstic is somewhere in that same ballpark. But the problem is that they don't synergize very well together. And also, if I'm taking Meowstic so that I can use Meowstic Male, then Meowstic Male doesn't really flow super well into the Mega form, because it wants to do Prankster support stuff, and the Mega wants to be offensive. And so just, that was really awkward, and the rest of my Mons were like 60 to 90, and they were just all clumped in there, which is pretty bad. My support is also deceptively bad, and that's largely because I didn't really have enough offense to support. Like, I had Clefable Redirection, but from what? For who? Right? I have Tailwind from Noivern, for who? I have Wide Guard from Chestnut for who? Like, what am I putting next to these Pokemon in order to actually get value out of that support so that I can pressure my opponent? The answer is not very much. On that note, offense is bad. I have a lot of support options, and because I have a lot of support options, my offensive options are very limited. And so, in terms of actually KOing my opponent's Pokemon, hard for this team to do. There are no good modes. I talked about Meowstic and Archaludon, but Meowstic's bulk is actually not that good. Its defensive typing is quite bad. Pure Psychic is not good. And I can't run an item. It can't be Focus Sash, it can't be a Resist Berry, it can't be Citrus Leftovers, none of that. And so it makes the Meowstic Arch mode very, very inconsistent, much, much worse. Because I basically have to choose between setting one of two screens or setting Rain Dance or getting stamina up, because Meowstic is probably not getting 2 turns, right? And then I have no sand for Excadrill, my Megas aren't good, like, what are 2 Pokemon that I can lead that are good? The answer is basically none of them. I have 1 good Pokemon. That's not a good number of good Pokemon to have. It's pretty bad. Excadrill is good, but I don't have sand for it, and so on this comp, it's not good. Gyarados is good. It can switch in for a lot of my Pokemon and take hits defensively, and the rest of them on this comp, they're all bad. Some of them are even bad in a vacuum, so that's not good. So what are we going to do about that? About this? The team is bad. Well, the good news is, oh, right. No synergy. The team sucks. So you ask yourself, what do you do? The good news is, there are Grace trades. You can see where this is going. Meowstic, gone. Archaludon, axed. The mode is fake, I need a real Mega, and Archaludon is so expensive, and so it's not worth keeping on the team. So, who do I trade these Pokemon away for? Well, welcome to the squad, Mega Kangaskhan and Alola Ninetales. The team is very bulky. I have some offensive stats that are respectable. I don't have any that are like through the moon, but my damage output is fine. It's underwhelming for sure, but I can usually 2-hit KO most things. I'm not picking up Okos, but with some investment, I can get 2-hit KOs on basically anything as long as I'm prepping deliberately. So, if I can keep my Pokemon alive, that's good. This duo seems very solid. Alola Ninetales, despite having a worse speed tier than Mega Meowstic, A can hold an item, B can click Icy Wind, C can click Aurora Veil. Seems like very good tools on my team. Similarly, Mega Kangaskhan has 100 base speed, so it's faster than Archaludon, which is very helpful. Fake Out helps Alola Ninetales click the buttons that it needs to press in order to get things online, and it's broken. The stats on this Pokemon are unbelievable. It's so bulky, it's so strong, because its effective attack stat is higher than what its attack stat actually is, because it hits twice with all of its moves. So I thought it was cool. I thought in 2 trades, I thought I made the team quite a bit better, and I still stand by that. Not because the new team is really, really good, but because the old team, it was really, really bad. So definitely a big step in the right direction. So what happens? You may be wondering, you may have been wondering this whole video, Raz, we're going into week 3. Why are you just now putting out a team breakdown? Well, the answer is that week 1 already happened, and I do have a video and I'm not uploading it because it's I'll get into it in a second, but week 1 did happen. So what happened in week 1? Chat was bad. Flame 120 That's not inherently bad. Flame is a really good player. He's here for a reason. I don't feel bad about losing to him in a vacuum. This is not in a vacuum. It was an 8-0, which is already bad. In game 1, I did not deal a single point of damage. That also seems pretty bad. Obviously, because it was an 8-0, in game 2 I took 0 KOs. You may be saying, oh, did he pivot around? How many times did you hit him? Once. I hit him 1 time. I had a resisted body press once. And that's it. In fact, Flame took more damage in Life Orb recoil over the course of the set than I dealt with attacks. That's bad. Admittedly, I don't think the matchup was great, but this is ridiculous, right? And so I go, okay, I gotta revamp the team, because this is really bad. The reason that the video is not coming out is because, I mean, what commentary do you want me to give over this? It's bad. And I was very frustrated, and so it's like, there's no good commentary. All it is just, from time to time, me going, damn, this sucks, what am I supposed to do? Not entertaining, not good. I'm not proud of it, I don't feel like putting it out there, and so I won't. But I do need to change the team, right? So, first I'm getting rid of Mega Kangaskhan. You may be saying, Raz, why are you getting rid of Mega Kangaskhan? You just picked it up. Well, it's gone. It wasn't doing enough. It's good, but it can't carry a team this bad by itself. I need to get rid of both of my Megas to make something happen. And so I did. And the first one is Mega Kangaskhan. And you may be saying, well, at least Alola Ninetales is safe. Wrong. Alola Ninetales, dead. It's pretty expensive, and with the new team that I'm working on, it just doesn't fit. So it's gotta go. You may be saying, oh, you were saying Cofagrigus was a bad pick. That's probably next, right? Nope. I said I have to get rid of both of my Megas. I got rid of both of my Megas. Mega Chestnut, gone. Now, some of you may know that you have 4 season trades. I use all 4 this week. Now, chat, listen. Listen. Hear me out, okay? I'm not happy about this either. But in order for the budget to work for the new team, more Pico's gotta go. And I hate to say it, I really do. But truly, in order to make this team good, I needed a couple more points. And, well, good, in heavy air quotes. I can only do so much with 4 trades, but I did my best. And Ryan did his best. Shout out Ryan. But I just needed a couple more points to make the budget happen, so I had to trade more Pico down, unfortunately. I'm very sorry to my fans, and I'm very sorry to more Pico. But, who do we get? Well, chat, welcome to the team, the new guys. First of all, our brand new Megas. Guys, we got a Sand mode. Put Tyranitar on the team, put Meganium on the team. To that I would say, hell yeah. It makes Excadrill so much better. It's crazy. And Clefable is a very good redirector for these Pokemon. Tyranitar and Excadrill are good together offensively, but defensively, they're famously bad. They're both weak to ground, they're both weak to fighting. You know who resists fighting? Clefable. Shout out Clefable. So there's a lot of synergy there as well, especially considering Clefable can run Magic Guard if need be, to not take any damage from Sandstorm. Very cool. Next, we get Gallade. I'm a Gallade fan now. I needed a fighting type and a psychic type because I got rid of both of them. I wanted to keep Wide Guard because I think it's very good in this format. And also I wanted Gallade, and so I took Gallade. And then, of course, I had to trade more Pico down to a Pokemon so irrelevant and unpopular that I couldn't even find a GIF of its idle animation online. And so, the only PNG on the squad, Simipour. Shout out Simipour. It's real in this format, in terms of draft. It's still not good, but it's 101 base speed, real stat, fake out is cool, it gets Icy Wind. It's one of the few Pokemon that still gets Scald. That's basically the end of it. But I needed the points so that I could have a real sand mode while retaining the tools that I was getting rid of, right? Because if you think about it, what does Mega Chestnut do? It has fighting type damage with Body Press, it has grass type damage with Wood Hammer, and it clicks Wide Guard. I have all of that here. Mega Kangaskhan, fast-ish fake out. You know what else I have here? Simipour, fast fake out, cool. I get rid of Alolan Ninetales. What does an Alolan Ninetales give me? Weather Control. What do I have? Weather Control. So I had to keep all of those tools, because I think that they're important, and I have them. It makes Excadrill way better on the team. I think this is strictly an upgrade. Now, if you're a part of the league, which I'm assuming you are if you're watching this, you're saying, Raz, didn't you already play Week 2? The answer is yes, I did. The video's not out because I wanted to do this first, but it will be out. And so you may naturally be asking or wondering a couple of follow-up questions. First, before I get to those, here's the new squad. It's still not the best team I've ever seen, but it's certainly, by a wide margin, better than what it was before. I think it's strictly an upgrade, and I am happy and content to have this squad for the rest of the season, because I'm out of trades now. So it's these guys and me till the end. Back to those questions, or musings, though. How many of the new guys actually came to Week 2? I've been saying they make the team so much better. It's such an upgrade. These guys are so good. How many of them did I actually bring? 4. All 4 of them were on my roster for my Week 2 match. You may say, okay. You brought all 4 of them to the set, but how many of them actually hit the field? 4. I brought them all. Shout out. Hell yeah. And then you may say, okay, they all hit the field, but how many of them actually contribute? Did they actually do anything? Yeah. Duh. They rocked. It was awesome. And now you may be wondering, but what did they do, though? I guess you'll have to watch the video. Guys, thanks so much for watching. That's the team. I'm excited for this season. If you're excited for this season, sub. I'll be uploading every week from now until the end of it. Hit the like button. Did it light up? Press the like button. Apparently it's supposed to light up. I don't think it actually did, but let me know. And watch the video. The Week 2 video, watch it. Watch the video. Okay, see ya. Watch the video. Watch the video.